Smash JT explored as prominent creator embraces local sponsorship, which is a nicer way of saying that Smash JT has become the next quartering, hopefully. Smash hasn't got a basement to piss in, but I found this very interesting when I first went through this whole situation. Yes, Shill JT, he's finally earned the name. And guys, this looks like weed.
Well, I guess we know who's going to be buying it first.
Oh, Dickers is going to buy it. But it's like, I understand why Smash has done this, and he's made a whole video, and he presented it very well. And his old male kiddo went through the process of making some of this, and it was all fun and adventurous. Mm-hmm. But I ain't drinking that. I'm not drinking anything. I'm like Scotty from The Next Generation. I'm like, it's green, except it's not alcohol. It's tea.
Remind me to ask the Empress about every single ingredient, like polyphenols, chlorophyll, not to be mistaken with chloroform, and quercetin. Like, look at what, like, this is a very I didn't know this about matcha. I didn't know matcha existed. I didn't know what matcha was before Smash JT actually said that. But apparently it exists, and he's making tea out of it. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of interested in trying it, but I don't know. It's weird to me.
You could try it, Helzo, but considering the initial cost, which is quite competitive for matcha green tea, you'd also have to consider the shipping cost from the United States.
California. I've dealt with shipping from the United States, and
you might as well deliver it from the moon. It will cost less.
It'll be stuck in
exactly.
customs.
It's just gonna fall here. But on that topic, to me, having a creator, and this is me talking from a perspective that I have been asked about merchandise, like if I'm going to have a merchandise somewhere sometime.
That comment, Helzo, from the Finch King, is this a pyramid scheme? No, he's actually selling.
Yeah, he's selling the tea.
JT has collaborated with a local business in the state of California to release and release ceremonial matcha green tea at affordable prices, considering the competition. If you scroll up a little, up. There we go. You look at the prices, folks, right? The 50-gram one is very interesting because I know in certain parts of Europe, tobacco costs that much in terms of 50 grams.
I can tell you exactly. This costs less than 50 grams of tobacco here, and our country is considered cheap on tobacco.
I just find it very interesting that this is being done, because you guys know I'm not a fan of turning content creation into a business. Neither was my mentor, in fact. Right, the only time my mentor would dip his toes into this sort of thing is reading an ad for Viagra on Rumble. Okay, for the lols, as it were. and Jose knows what I'm talking about because my mentor shilled for Blue Chew because he found it funny. And 17.75 coffee. It's like, dude, you fucking hate coffee. And my mentor was like, but yeah, I like money.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that just what shilling and advertising is all about, folks? We should be supporting creators trying to make a living off of this or trying to boost themselves off of this. I mean, Smash has to pay for his $18,000 studio somehow. Just like we've got to pay for this show courtesy of our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. With Raid, you can have the best mobile game on the market and we're never getting a sponsorship from them.
Yeah. In my opinion, a content creator doing this is like, first of all, it is pretty common, especially when your channel is growing, and when you have a design like a brand. I mean, a recognizable brand, because I've seen a lot of huge content creators like reaction channels that they don't really have that sort of a established brand. You know, they're just there. They do have a lot of views, a lot of supporters and stuff like that, but they don't have that established uniqueness. So when you become, let's say, when you have something like that, I think it's very common for you to lean that way, or for things to lean that way. We've seen it a lot.
Well, if you
Some people
scroll
go
up-
with the t-shirts. Some people go with like clothing merchandise. Some people go with coffee, tea, something that I haven't seen actually.
Well, if you go up, Helzo, because my mentor knew a creator called what was his name? Dragon's Tea, and he was a content creator who would, sell his own tea. He's based in the Netherlands, so of course he's always high on drugs, like most of the Dutch people. But he does very well off of doing that. But if you scroll down a little, because I was like, why don't you press on the 250 gram one? All right, can you press into it?
Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it's a quarter of a kilo, folks, of Smash JT's organic matcha. It includes a special weighing spoon, which only adds to the wink wink nod nod of weed. But it costs $100 for a quarter of a kilo,
Which is basically half a pound, I think, or a little more than half a pound.
So this would be $400 a kilo. Are we sure Smash isn't pretending to sell green cocaine?
Good God.
I mean, that seems, I don't know much about the green tea market. I've heard that this is actually quite affordable, but are we sure Smash is... Oh, yeah, I know matcha is very expensive, Valerian. I was just making the funny joke that that Smash JT is turning into the next Pablo Escobar with this whole
Pablo JT.
Oh,
but
God.
come on, folks.
In before we use that AI to replace Pablo Escobar and Narcos with Smash JT.
Yes, yeah. And folks, why should
Someone is gonna hear you, by the way, and he's gonna do it.
why should a creator with well over 100,000 subscribers give a damn what a creator with a couple of hundred subs has to say? Surely Smash is magnanimous enough not to dogpile on little old Digny. Surely not. Who knows? But I do find this very interesting. I'm not a fan of green tea, folks. I'm not a fan of health drinks. I'm not a fan of it. So there's my perspective. Roger, come on, shill for shill JT. Go on, do it now.
The way I see it is that you're allowed to just do whatever you want and everything, and that's why I'm happy to announce that in 10 years from now, where I can get big enough, introducing Country Time Soda
Already big
Pop.
enough.
But
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist.
So we let Roger drink this. He'll be the lightest weight one on the panel, right? Like within
Can
like
we
a
ma-
couple weeks.
I could weigh 100 pounds and Digny will still call me a fat ass.
Smash, can we mix this with a Zempic? Is this drink
Match Zempic?
Because I have actually watched Smash JT's video on this. I think it was very well presented. It was so adorable seeing his kiddo make it, because his kiddo, I feel so sorry for parents these days, because their kids have to grow up in this crazy world. But I did see you could mix it with syrup and sugar and milk and other things. And I'm thinking, well, why not mix it with, I don't know, a Zempic?
Don't give them
Why not?
ideas.
Yeah.
I would. But
I ain't
Jose,
touching that.
what do you make of all this?
I wonder if I start getting this for my co-host instead of the diet he's on of alcohol and nasty dyed chips, if it would actually make him healthy enough to not have bronchitis every other week and have me run the entire panel by myself. That being said,
Well,
you
at least you can order it without paying 3 times more than it costs for it
There
to
you
get
go.
to you.
that is true. No, but in all seriousness, I think, it's a, don't hate the player, hate the game kind of thing. I think that it's fun that Smash is, actually producing a product that, people get into it and, for health reasons, they may want it. I think that it's a good idea. Look, I'm a guy who sells Cancel the Podcast t-shirts, and the grand total of nobody else other than me freaking owns them. So that's where I'm at with it. I think it's okay to sell a little merch, do a little merchandising, do a little marketing, and you see what sticks. And if people want to support you and just sort of rep what you're doing, it's always cool. Something like this. Also, you got to remember that at least with like sort of people who like drink tea, if the tea is really good, they're going to recommend it to their friends. And look, it's like a cult. It's like CrossFitters, all right? Tea drinkers tend to like sort of stick together. So someone will be like, "Look, you got to try this tea." Well, how do I get this tea? So it's actually a pretty decent product to to actually bring out and advertise, in my opinion, because it is right now. People are on that health kick. Look, I show this to my mom. My mom's going to buy like 10 bags of it.
And at least he
And
went
then
down
you
the
add
route.
the drugs.
Yeah.
And at least he is going down the route of doing something different instead of being the upteenth YouTuber who just
Does
sells coffee.
Yeah, well, I was going to
Exactly.
say this. Here's the alternative. Coffee is fine and good. I like coffee. I drink coffee. But we all know this, caffeine in a long term is not good for you. So at least Smash is opting to sell something that's a little healthier for you than just chugging coffee all the time. All right? Because if you chug coffee all the time.
Oh, good Lord.
This, folks, I have never made a thumbnail before making a topic for a show, but I thought this is the perfect thumbnail for Smash JT's latest tea project, because all the green
missing
things,
pile.
all the green things you see there is actually matcha tea, but I just painted it green.
Good Lord.
Okay. And this is an image from one of Smash's recent videos. Folks, everyone does it when they're speaking, except for me. I don't do it. I'm a cartoon, but everyone has that like weird camera face while they're speaking, and I managed to get it at just the right second for Smash.
You were a man on a mission.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. But I look forward to some of Smash's detractors using this image.
Oh boy.
Because I think it's quite.
You think Dickers is going to get a 45-minute video going over this?
I think Dickers would love the look of that mouth right there, Jose. I think he would. I think he would.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. Don't get high off your own supply, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't. Do not.